All right, guys, so today we're going to cover the kettlebell swing. Kettlebells are all the rage in the fitness world right now, but they've actually been around for a really long time. The kettlebells can be used for a lot of different things. You can also sub dumbbells for just about anything you can do with a kettlebell, but they're kind of nice because the way that they're shaped. But the kettlebell swing is something that we commonly do. It's one of the more functional kettlebell movements, and therefore we use it in CrossFit quite a bit. So I've got three different kettlebells here. I've got the 26-pounder, I've got the 53-pounder, and then I've got the two pood 70-pounder. Pood is a Russian measurement that oftentimes, if you go old school on kettlebells, you'll find them measured in poods. A pood is about 35.9 pounds. So this is actually about 72 pounds, this two pood kettlebell. Okay, so the way I like to start off with is stance. And almost any weight lifting that we do, we like to start off with a good, proper stance, and then we like to get the back set in the proper position, make sure our posture's good, and then we can try to move through that movement. So the stance is going to be a little wider, right? It's going to look more like a sumo stance. Typically, we want to make room for that kettlebell to travel between the knees. We don't want to be in this jump stance where we might take our kneecaps out of the kettlebell. Not good. Okay? So we want a nice wide stance. Now, turning to the side, we got the stance right. Now, what posture should we be in? I'll go ahead and start with this nice light 26-pounder. The posture we want is good back arch, big chest. We want to look like a silverback gorilla. If you've ever seen Gorillas in the Mist with Sigourney Weaver, you pretty much got it, right? So we want to be down here looking for bananas. We got that nice back arch right there, big upright chest. We never want to be in what I like to call the angry kitty position, right? Right? That's bad news, okay? Very, very bad for your back. So let's keep that back upright. And now, this is truly a swing. We're going to drive up with the hips and the knees and drive that weight overhead. Okay? Now you'll notice at the bottom, my chest stays upright and big. We never want to get pulled under. Bad. Right? Never this. Okay? So the other thing that I want to focus on here is, where are we generating the power? Somebody new to the kettlebell swing, oftentimes will try to force that weight up with their deltoids and their lats, trying to lift it up like this. Your arms should really, truly just be like ropes. You should just be holding that weight. The power comes from your hips and your knees. Hip and knee extension, bam, that's what's going to get that weight up there. Okay, the other thing is, what is the range of motion on this? We want to get that kettlebell up overhead, over our frontal plane, into what we call a stacked position, kettlebell straight up in the air. Okay, now if you can't get the weight up there safely, then the weight's too heavy, okay? So if you're thinking to yourself, I can't do that because I don't want it to drop on my head, or it's going to be really hard to get my shoulders open, well, that's because you're doing too much weight. So whatever weight you can handle safely, getting it overhead, that's the weight you should be at. Okay, so now I'm going to move up to that 53-pound kettlebell and demonstrate. Now, nothing should change here. Even though the weight's heavy, I shouldn't start getting pulled under. I shouldn't be doing the things that are dangerous just for the sake of getting a heavier weight overhead. Okay, so get in this position, drive the hips up, get a half swing, and then bam, overhead. I don't get sucked under. You can see I'm driving the hips open to get that nice, powerful swing overhead. Okay, so now, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident. I might think, maybe I'll try that 70-pounder because that's what's supposed to be in the workout today. So I'll grab that 70-pound kettlebell, get set, get that big chest, silverback gorilla, looking for bananas, get a nice quarter swing, half swing, overhead. Now I don't want to get sucked under, right? And that is the kettlebell swing.